It was one of those games where you're nervous all week about it because you know that they're coming off a win. They're excited about playing in a venue like the Rose Bowl, and you've got all these relationships with guys on the other sideline, and you just want to stay focused. You want to get to the dance. You want to go play football, and you got all these other things going on in your head. And so it was a frustrating week for me to try to just keep concentrating on getting our team better and so forth. But I was very, very pleased with the way we started the game. It got a little bit away from us in terms of our focus and our ability to keep the hammer down, if you will. And we're going to talk long and hard about that in the next couple of days because we're playing a game next week that we can't afford to have missed opportunities. But I'm very pleased with the ability that our team has shown over the course of the season and there's been disappointment, even major disappointment, that we've been able to respond and come back to work and not point fingers, but come back and play complete games the next time out. And so we find ourselves at 6-5, but more importantly, we find ourselves with a chance to win the South Division. And there weren't very many people in this room that believed that to be possible when we started the season. And we can say all you want about the lack of great teams on this side or blah, 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 but the bottom line is we're playing for a championship. And I'm thrilled to death about it. I'm looking forward to going to work tomorrow to bust our tails to make sure that we got the best possible plan on both sides of the ball and in the kicking game. I know our players will be excited about the opportunity. We certainly have great respect for the next opponent and looking forward to a whale of a ball game. But also pleased that we were able to finish the job tonight and get ourselves into a position where that's within reach now. Questions?
Rick, when did you decide to address the crowd? Like you hadn't done that in several weeks?
You know, that was such a thing at the beginning of the season that I said I'll do it at the end of the year, after the last game. You know, and maybe if I'm fortunate enough to be here, I'll do that on a normal basis at the end of the year. It's nice to be able to say thank you to people who are so loyal and to people who come each and every Saturday and, you know, scream their guts out and get mad at you if it's not going well, but also get really elated when things are going well. And, you know, we were 5-1 in home to this year. That's a heck of a record. We stumbled against Texas, but you know, for the first time I think since I've been here, this is the best record we've had at home. So I wanted to say thank you, and because they deserved it.
Coach, after you went up 14-zip that quickly, how did you kind of keep the door shut like you talked about?
Well, it's one of the jobs of whoever's in charge to make sure that the focus is such that we are not celebrating too early. You know, you don't want to take celebration away. Obviously, I was disappointed that we got a celebration penalty, but you don't want to take celebration away from your young people. You want them to enjoy it and have fun, but the fun can't dissipate from the focus of what is going on the field. And you know, when you get to be 50, you start worrying more about things like that. When I was 33, I'd have been celebrating with them. But you know, it was all's well that ends well.
You mentioned that you're 50. You were 33 at one point coaching this team. How long ago does that seem? And I know this is a bit of a full circle kind of game for you.
Yeah, you know, seeing those uniforms out there was a little bit different. You know, when I left Colorado to go to Washington, we played them the next 2 years. So, but there was a lot of still hard feelings, if you will, and there was also players on that team that certainly I'd been involved in recruiting. So that was much more difficult because you're coaching against guys that you had been in their living rooms and had convinced to come and be a part of a program. But it was kind of fun and yet surreal, as I mentioned, to see John Embry over there as the head coach, and certainly a number of people that are on that staff that, you know, that I kind of grew up with in this business. So, but I'm excited about the way we were able to handle our end of the deal, and certainly looking forward to next week.
Can you talk about Kevin Prince tonight?
You know what? A complete game. A complete game. I know he wants the one pass back that he missed Shaq over the top, but a complete game, ran through. And And that is exactly what the quarterback in this offense needs to do. Needs to be able to handle both parts of the job and be able to take advantage of big plays when they're available, and he certainly did that. And I'm happy for him, and now I want more. It's just the way it is.
As you go forward, would you prefer to have this big of a game be against as big of an opponent as SC with the rivalry, or does that kind of serve as a distraction, I guess?
Do I, playing SC for the championship?
Yeah. Does that?
That's the way it should be. That's the way it used to be. When I was in school, this was the game that you always pointed to, and if you won, great things were going to ensue. And I think in 1981, had we beaten them, we'd have had a chance for the Rose Bowl. Certainly, my senior year, we needed to beat them to get to the Rose Bowl. 82, we needed some more things to happen, but we needed to beat them to have a chance at the Rose Bowl, and that's just kind of the nature of the beast. So that's what, when I first got back here, that's what I longed for. Not just playing for the championship of LA, but playing for the championship, much bigger stakes.
How much of the offensive line play resulted in Kevin's success today?
Always it results in great success. If you are stout up front and do a great job, you're going to have an opportunity to play well. And certainly our guys up front. And Kai Maiava, this was an important game for him. He transferred from Colorado, so he wanted to play well, and I thought he was great up front. So it was a complete effort. Anybody else? All right, then, thanks. We'll see you next week.